Hey, what's up, world? It's your girl, Nicolette, the BaeGod, and you're tuned in right now with AllHipHop.com. Stay tuned. Wow, Charles Hamilton, you know, the first time I ever went on Summer Jam and performed at the festival stage was because myself and Charles Hamilton did this hip-hop culture center 24-hour rap-a-thon. And it was like the winner, whoever wins, you know, performs at Summer Jam festival stage. That was my opportunity to really do my thing, and shout out to him.
You out-rapped Charles Hamilton.
Man, that's my guy. You know, I still have like a computer full of his beats. Like one day he came through and gave me all of his beats.
Wow.
I was like, what? Like every beat, like it was crazy. Like it was insane the fact that he even worked that hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel bad for him because he's definitely smart.
Let him do something. Let some
shit
happen.
Man.
Okay, so since we're rolling, you might as well say who we're here with. Nicolette, aka
it's your girl Nicolette, the BaeGod. The God of Love.
Do you even use your name, or do you what's your actual name?
My name is Nicolette. You know, well, back in the day, you know what? It sounds like back in the day now, but about 2009, I was featured on LL Cool J's album and Exit 13 off the Def Jam. And it was like LL Cool J featuring It's Your Girl Nicolette. So like the whole thing was, and like on YouTube it's like Your Girl Nicolette. On Twitter it's Your Girl Nicolette. So it's like YA. But it's the whole thing. But my name is Nicolette. You know, people who know me from my name is Nicolette, and I don't smoke cigarettes. When I was 6 years old, doing my thing, rapping around the neighborhood, doing a lot for the culture. But now it's like, yo, you know,
so
the God of Love.
You're a prodigy then.
I'm a young asset to the game.
Okay. All right.
You know,
I like that.
Yeah.
So we met. People don't know. Nobody knows, but we met at a Eric B and Rakim concert.
Yeah.
The reunion show in New York.
30-year anniversary.
Yeah, which was real random, but the backstage was ridiculous. It was just so hectic. But you stood out amongst all those people.
Wow, thank you.
Talk about yourself a little bit and your style and what you're bringing to the game.
Well, you know, New Girl Order is like, you know, the vibes. I rock their bandanas. I rock their, well, this is our bandanas, you know, this brand right here, Hood Goody, this is the New Girl Order line. So this right here, what I have on is Global Currency and Bucalini. So like I just rock everybody who I personally know, who personally gives me their brands. And this New Girl Order brand, they want me to have a percent of their company. So I'm like, man, I'm getting into fashion. I just want to make sure that I get this music out there, just don't get sidetracked, make sure I deliver on what I tell people I'm going to deliver on. And, you know, I think that my fashion sense comes from just being involved in what's going on, like what's hot, what's popping, who's working hard. This female brand, there's 3 females that own the company so far, and if I get a part of it, I'll be the 4th member. So that'd be like dope to kind of promote, you know, just women empowerment. Yeah. And you know, like so my vibes really is just all about, you know, like just being innovative and enlightening the culture.
Yeah. Now, when I first saw you, I hope that you don't take this the wrong way, as this is a compliment. I thought of TLC when I first met you, and I was like,
I was chilling with my digging the scene. I love it. I love it. Like absolutely. Like this jacket is oversized. I play basketball, you know. So like, and I love R&B hip hop. Like I love that sound, that 90s, that 80s. Like my friend Tiana, she just opened up a nail salon and it has a whole 80s, 90s theme, and I think that that's like perfect. So that element, that time, man, might be some of the best music ever created in the world.
You're right. That's true.
See, you agree? This is for your prime time, right? But wait, hold on, because we gotta stay futuristic. So the future is gonna be the best. You know, the children are the future. The future is always gonna be the best. But that's definitely like a golden era.
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Now, you know, let me see. How do I say this? Okay, so I'll put it like this: there's a prototype for a successful woman, female in hip hop, right? There's a prototype.
Yeah.
And we know that prototype oftentimes, most times, it deals with selling sexuality or putting that ahead of the artistry.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Sometimes I feel like a lot of great talent gets overlooked based upon their image. I'm blessed enough to be able to know that I am a girl and a female and like the fact that I'm like, oh, I got boobs, oh, bro, hold up, you feel me? And I feel like this. I feel like I want to push them up and be a girl, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the excitement. I feel like sometimes that element is what people want to see. They just want to experience life. They want they want to see your life. They want to experience that with you. So I feel like, sexism sometimes, is like sometimes you want to be overly sexy to sell units because people say sex sells. I feel like talent sells. Good music sells. It's even better if you look good.
Right.
It's even better if you smell good. It's even, you know what I'm saying? It's better if your hair is on point and you got style and you got swag. Yeah. It's even better. But I think that talent speaks for itself, and it's always gonna outshadow the look.
Right.
Because looks is trendy. That's it always changes. But the talent, it remains. 20 years from now, they're gonna be, oh yeah, she looked good. But is the music gonna last 20 years from now? And the people from 20 years later, are they gonna love it the same way those people 20 years ago loved it? And I feel like that's what really makes a great artist. Like Lauryn Hill, right?
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill, 23 years later, what's going what's going on right now? The fact that her music, people still love her music so much to where they sample it, and that's the impact that I'm looking for.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing, when you mention Lauryn Hill, is that greatness, maintaining that is tough. Tough. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like, I looked at this documentary from the Dungeon family, the producers that did Outkast, right? And they were a hit-making machine. But after a while, and they did, like, once they hit the TLC level, because they did Waterfalls for TLC.
Goodness.
They were like, that's when it got hard, because everybody wanted that. And they were like, one hit, not good enough, another hit, and then another hit.
That's what they say. That's what they say. They always compare you to your last work. So they say you're only as good as your last performance, your last show. So I just try to make sure that my last thing is the best thing. Man, sometimes we want to outwork ourselves and be better than ourselves and say that our only competition is ourselves. Yeah. Man, we have no competition, man. We're living under the blessings that God has given us. If He wants to make this next thing that thing, it will become that.
Right.
If that's for it to be that way, it will be that way. That's just all that it is. It might be their time right now maybe to link up with me and for us to do a record and to be that record that just is that record, and it's like, yo, this is the record, and then that energy can flow. We do another record and it just be that thing. We never know. You just never ever know what's gonna be. But at the end of the day, we just gotta push and just work our ass. Excuse my French. Just work our behinds off to make sure that we're delivering for our audience. Audiences change all the time. Music change all the time. So, like Michael Jackson, man, they say Thriller, like Thriller was his main album, but there's people that connected with every album after that. It's like, what do you really cherish? What do you
and
really?
Before that.
Yeah, exactly. So like, there's records that's gonna come out from Michael Jackson. That's gonna be that record that's gonna last forever and never and ever. As well. So like, I feel like people are gonna still sample his music and make it a big #1 record all over again. So it's like, man, you just do what you do.
How do you maintain this energy?
Oh man,
how do you get the sense you're like this all the time?
Oh man, I love what I do. Dame said when you having fun, you'll never work a day in your life. I really feel like that. I feel like I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying life right now, man. This is what I work to do, to be able to share my ideas and be able to touch the hearts and the souls.
So we were talking about this earlier. As a young artist, social media is like the #1 way to promote. Brand wise, how does that work for you? Because sometimes, as we've noted earlier, sometimes it works against an artist. And I'll just call him out. Kanye West. He says, I love Donald Trump. Now that's through a filter of a media personality, but the fact that even comes through is very off-putting for me personally, right? So through time, a lot of younger artists without that stability that he has might do something.
Make or break their career.
Right, absolutely.
Right, like I think someone said something about Little Xan. He said something. He said a little something about Tupac, and it could have made or break his career. And I call like, yo, do you want to work with the kid? I'm like, well, man, I love Tupac. My icon picture on Instagram is Tupac. So it put me in a situation to where I was like, well, what can I do with this situation? I can actually inform him on why I love the guy so much and how he affected my life, and man, maybe it can turn into a good thing. So everything about social media can either go left or right. It's always like, yo, how do you like? I think Ebro something was saying that he spoke to Kanye West, and Kanye was saying like his music on his album will basically clear up any misconceptions that his words probably got misconstrued or any kind of way. The miseducation that they kind of
always selling this album. The album's gonna clear it up.
Just wait to see. We'll wait to see. You know what I mean? Make something good out of something negative. I think the social media.
I'm not waiting and seeing. No.
I think the music's gonna be amazing. Shout out, shout out to the homies. That's getting albums. Nas, Pusha T, Kid Cudi, Tiana Taylor. Like it's man, Nicolette. It's gonna be crazy. Like we all dropping projects this year. It's gonna be like super dope. I think that the social media just making things exciting. Like imagine like only time you ever even interact with a celebrity is when they're about to put out an album and you see a poster or you see they're going on tour. Now we have like social media. We can see everything. What do you want to see me do today? Like we're out here. Like I can literally post on my Insta stories what we're doing right now, and they'll know before this even comes out. You know what I mean? Like
true. See, from my point of view, right?
Yeah.
I like the anticipation. I'm
gonna give you like the way.
Perfect example.
You like the privacy.
Perfect example. The movies, right? Black Panther. Perfect example. I've been counting down for that movie for like a year. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
For everybody, it's been crazy. So when it does drop, $1 billion movie.
Right.
To me, even with Nas, like potentially, I can't say for sure because he's waited a really long time. Potentially, he could have his biggest album ever because he has given people that anticipation.
Right.
On the flip side, overexposure can be a bad thing, depending on the artist. Like, it just depends on the artist. So it's two sides. Shout
out to Black Panther for being like #1 and changing the game in the box office area. Shout out to all the actors doing their thing right now. I'm definitely interested in getting into that field. Shout out to the Panther himself. I partied with him on my birthday.
What?
Yes, it was so random.
Chadwick?
Yes. So right at the SNL, it was a nice night on the town. I was out there by Republic.
To hang out with you.
It was so random, man. I was in VIP with the guy on my birthday after he hosted SNL. It was such like a random moment, but it's like the universe. That's why I love the way things work. God is good. And shout out to Nas, shout out to Massive Pill because I was just down there,
hanging with Nas.
Yeah, no, hanging with the owner, Peter from Massive Pill, and in the A&Rs, and I really was able to get that anticipation vibe too from just the events that they're throwing prior to his album building up and just being in that whole mode of, oh man, this is history in the making and now we're part of it. I think that's what it is. The fact that to know that it hasn't happened yet and we still have an opportunity to be a part of it. Like we're living in the moment.
So talk to people about your artistry, your music, specifically your music. Talk to people that may not know. What's your vibe like?
So I think that everybody looks for a sound, a particular sound, and I think that my sound is in my delivery. It's in my voice. It's in my pain. It's in my my lyrics too. As far as like the creativity, it's no certain flow that I have. Like, oh, I just make turn up. It's not really like that. It's like I can make slow music, R&B vibes. I can sing a little bit. It's really like the talent is in the sound of the quality more so than the logistics, so like that when I turn up and I be in a club, that's my thing. Like I turn up. We're gonna turn up every time. We're gonna make things
can't believe
lit.
We're gonna
do it. I'm definitely gonna turn up. I love turning up. That's my thing. The only way we know is turn up. Why stop now? I stamped that on one of my records as soon as my sister passed about 4 years ago. As soon as she got shot, I was like, only way we know is turn up. Why stop now? And with the set it off vibes, like that's how we gonna do. That's how we gonna go out there. So I think that my sound is really what it is. My where I come from. And I feel like my sound probably will change once I get like my first $1 million check, because then I experience things that I probably didn't get the consistency to experience in the past. So like, it's all about what you tap into. I feel like I'm tapped into the culture right now. So my sound is the culture of our generation right now, 2018, a young black girl in America.
Talk about Harlem.
Let's
talk about Harlem.
What do we want to talk about?
I don't know. You know what? I'm not native, so I came from Delaware.
You're not from New York. You're not from the Empire State of Mind.
Delaware, right here,
what?
302.
Oh, 302. Shout out to Delaware.
And when I moved, I never considered Harlem. Right? I moved to Brooklyn. Now I dated somebody who lived in Harlem, and it was like I kind of fell in love with Harlem. Like so, I'm like, wow, Harlem's dope. Talk about it from your perspective, though, growing up
in Harlem. things is changing right in front of my eyes. You know, I performed at the Apollo Theater when I was younger, and I go past the Apollo Theater now, and it's like Apollo Theater was the place to be, and it still is. But around the Apollo Theater is like so much opportunity. Like, you know, right there, I feel like you walking into a mall, and right there is the theater, and then right there is a hotel. It's like it becomes like, you know, like moments in time. Like in Harlem, like my friend, she literally owns a nail salon in Harlem. When we was growing up, bro, I didn't know the owners. I know Art to Ink. I know the owner of the tattoo parlor right down the block from my house. Luxury Hair Collection. I know the owner of Luxury Hair Collection right there, and it's all black-owned businesses. So like Harlem is really like the place to be if for any entrepreneurs, any business-minded people. You know, it's it's for the culture. Definitely, it still has that that stamp on it that it's about us and it's for us, and at the same time, it's still great enough to be able to impact the rest of the world. So like Harlem World is really a thing. Like it's really a thing. It's really
for a minute there, it looked like gentrification was gonna take over. They were changing the name. It was like
I mean, I think Harlem is North NoHo and so high and no high. You know.
I was like,
I mean, things are always going to change. It's all about when change happens, you have to adjust to the change. You have to become the change. You have to see the future. You have to know what you want to do, and you got to get on it. You don't let opportunity pass you by wanting to stay in the past. Sometimes you got to allow things to change and to change with the times. Okay, things are changing. Okay, that means I need to invest in businesses. Okay, that means I need to change the way my outlook is that I'm thinking. That's what it means. It means that times are changing, and you have to adjust or move with the change or see the future and create your world.
Did you look up to Jim Jones, Jewels, those guys from Harlem? I mean, did you admire them?
Dipset, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you from Harlem and you don't know what's popping, then you're out the loop, you know what I mean? I've been in the studio. I've actually went to Cameron's house in Jersey and recorded some records out there with them. So like those vibes are like as Harlem vibes, like you gotta know, if you're from Harlem, you gotta know certain things. Like I was in the studio recently with the Heatmakers, and I was getting the rundown on how how he stayed relevant and what works for him as far as when he produces music and put out music. And I'm like, man, I'm happy to be in the studio with you right now. This new Harlem, you know what I mean? Like, like this is right now, and I can infuse with someone that worked on projects with other artists that are still relevant to this day. Like that's amazing. But like Harlem is like,
that's dope.
Man, like what more can I ask for, man? Harlem is a different kind of place, man. With the swag and the attitude and the charisma, and you know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love being from Harlem. I love being from New York. This is what New York sound like.
True.
That's what we look like.
Now you work with LL. Did you get the bill with LL, or did they send you the track and you sent it back?
LL Cool J. I remember. I can never forget this one moment. LL Cool J. He called my phone. And I was like, hello, it was so crazy, yo. I remember him singing, like he said, I got this idea for you, yo, this song right here. And I remember him singing like the hook in my ear as far as his ideas of what he thought the song should be based upon. And he's like literally in my ear, like doing the vibes. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, this is insane. I have LL Cool J rapping song ideas in my ear over the phone. Like, this is what I do with my friends. Like, and so that right there put me on a whole nother idea of how my relationship could be with anybody. Like, it don't matter how successful I become, my relationship could still be that organic. I've been in the studio with him, like, I wrote my verse and he wrote his verse and he heard my verse and was like, that flow right there. And that became the sound for the record, like, man, I appreciate that guy so much. His vibe just when I was able to really connect with him and really like soak up, like be at a press run and move around with him and be able to experience a legend in the game in hip hop.
He does a lot of good work that people don't even know about. That's what's up.
Yeah, he gives back. Shout out to the king from Queens.
No doubt. Who else have you worked with in the game?
Man, shout out to all the upcoming producers that I'm working with right now. Shout out to Denny. Shout out to shout out to Billionaire Beat. Shout out to Black the Beast. Opportunities like this, I would like to shout out Giannis. Shout out to the homies that are coming up. That sometimes they get overlooked until they get a #1 single. So shout out to Wanye.
What are your thoughts on hip hop now here in New York City? The city as a whole. It's a lot of push and pull. It's a lot of controversy, kind of, because some people sound like they're from the South now, or some people promote gang cultures. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot going on in New York. We don't really have like a order. It's like chaos. What do you think about that?
You know, I mean, man, that's what New York is based off of, man. New York is based off of just being original and tapping into what you feel, you know. A lot of people get flack from sounding like they're from another place. But we gotta understand that we travel.
Right.
Man, people from down there, they come up here, we go down there, and like, I have a friend, like, I made fun of her because of it. She went out there to ATL and came back with an accent, and I'm like, yo, like, you're not from New York, bro. You're from down south. Like, you know, that's the thing that, you know, we taunt each other with, but at the end of the day, if you're from New York, you are from New York. Like, this is how you decide to deliver your message. This is how you, but it's still New York. Like, with the things that you experienced, the subways that you rode, if you rode any, the Ubers or the yellow cabs, you know, that's your experience, and however you deliver that message is how you deliver. Like, if you've been gangbanging all your life and your music is flooded with Suwu or Crib, you know what I'm saying, like Latin King, whatever it is, that's because that's how you were brought up. That's that's what you embrace, and that's what you decided to make your music about. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like the diversity is amazing. Like, the fact that we can embrace the culture and say that this is what hip hop is. New York created hip hop, so we sound like hip hop. Yeah. So like, we sound like, that's what we sound like, and I feel I feel like, you know, shout out to everybody that is from another state and they have their sound from their state. I feel like New York can never ever sound like any other place in the world because we created hip hop.
Okay, that's a good
answer. Like, that's what we got. I'm sticking to my guns.
That's what. Talk about your you know, you said you went to a special school for the arts. Yeah, I went to Sawyer Cruz, Bronx High School of Music. It was in LaGuardia. It was in the Bronx. It was in downtown Manhattan. But the skill level was improved because of the fact that I went to a school where I was around people who played instruments all day, and I had to take classes and learn music theory, and I had to sing, and in order to get into the school I had to sing. I was like, yo, I'm a rapper, and they did not accept rap. Like, I don't understand. I was like, yo, you have to sing or play an instrument to get into the school. And even downtown, like, with the opportunities, either you had to sing or you had to act, you know, so rap is not really a time. So I was like, all right. I had a song at the time called Nicolette is Here, I'm Gonna Do My Thing, and I just sung my rap lyrics. I was like, what y'all want us? Like, I literally sung my rap lyrics, and I got into school. Once I got into school, it was over. Like, any homie that wanted to come through, like, I had this girl, her name was Chris, you know, I was like, she didn't sing at all, but from the connections that I was able to make with the principal and my music teacher, I was able to get my friend into school. So, you know, it's all about connections and who you know. So, like, yeah, shout out to Sawyer Cruz. That's well, okay. So when can we, you know, do you have an album, mixtape, what's going on? Yeah, so I have like a mixtape online right now. I'm about to like package it and put it out on all the platforms just so that you guys can really get that, and it could be available for download because we're just like lingering around on YouTube. So I want people to be able to have it in their phones. I'm working on an album right now. Black Girl in America is what I really want to push with my ideas. The Leaders Club, that's the movement, that's the team. That I want that to consist of people who are into designing, who are into blogging, who are into hair and makeup and production and videography, because I feel like any artist right now coming up, PR, we need a team. So if I can create a team of leaders that are on deck at any time to be able to provide these skills for any person, mainly me. But but any person that like, cause you know, somebody called me the other day like, yo, I need this, and I'm like, all right, I'm running around trying to see if I can get somebody to do it. If I already have the team set up and already, you know, it's just a call away. So I want to get things more organized. So that's really what I'm thinking right now, you know, with the leaders and activism and stuff like that, getting those members on board to where we can have a collective of communication. That's really my objective, and put out the music at the same time. Do you have any other talents? I know you went to art school, so what else can you? Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, definitely working on directing, and I have a documentary in the works, you know, about like my whole life, you know, that I've been living since I was about, I always say it like this, since I was about 6 years old, you know, back in 1996, and just putting together that material of being an artist and what it takes, and the practice and the hard work and the dedication from then to now to really be successful. And I want to put it together in like a movie form to where we could probably get actors and actresses to play the parts of the roles of the people that are celebrities now, and just kind of give them that story. Did you see the Roxanne movie?
Yo, Roxanne Shante, my boy. Shout out to Roxanne. I actually auditioned for the Roxanne Shante part in the movie. Yes, and I got a call back and everything. Yeah. And my boy OnStar, he's in the movie as well. And Roxanne Shante is a great friend of mine. You know, I was able to call her. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels and spoke to her during the process. And you know, so like I'm definitely like, wow, it got to Netflix and the structure of the movie was great. You know, like I love it. I love that that people can get those roses and smell them while they're still here.
Absolutely.
You know.
So when we were at the Eric B. Rakim show backstage,
yes,
you just burst into a rap.
Oh yeah.
Out of nowhere. My phone game was a little slow that day, so I didn't get to record it.
Yes.
But I was wondering if you had anything that you could perhaps give people.
Oh, share with the world right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want me to get out the way?
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, stick around.
All right.
I said, I got Benjis on Benjis on Benjis, I stack them up. I'm killing these flows, yeah, I wrap them up. Go yard luggage bag, tell them pack it up. Woo, they making the scene, now we acting up. I never fumbled, this the last down. Lost my sister, that's the past now. Money coming in fast now. They can't stand me, so they sad down. Always been the type to stand out. You the type to look for handouts. I'm the type to get it on my own, cause these niggas be ratting their mans out. Swear to God, I never took the scam route. Swear to God, I got all of this planned out. With the squad, so tonight, pull the bands out. Yeah. Matter of fact, come take a ride on my side. You know my guys. Hope I stay right on their hip. Cooking, baking up the pies. Money multiplied. For some, that's as good as it gets. That gun got a drum with a kick. I started the band pushing keys on the strip. My bitches is bad. They don't give me no lip. I get rich, you get mad. You think I give a shit? Bitch, please, listen. Young OJ pimping. I ain't tripping. Never slipping. Never slacking. Some be crippin'. Some be bracking. I be whipping. I be stacking. I been lit since I been rapping. Done got all this legal money. I ain't going back to trapping. And I mean that. I really do. Like, I want to give y'all my inspirational music, and I want y'all to look for my music on the album, and I want y'all to feed into my Instagram, the BaeGod, and I want y'all to come through to my shows and support my movement and to watch me go on tour, and I want y'all to want more, so I'm going to stop right now.
All right, that's what's up. I can give you a little something.
Yeah, give me a little something.
All right. She made me hug her earlier. She's late.
The BaeGod.
I gave her half a hug. Nah,
two hands. I need the love. I need the love. Yes.
So, talk about your sister real quick, though.
Yes, Olivia Brown, Watch for Our Lives. I posted something on Instagram at the BaeGod, TheBaeGod, and I said I attached it to Watch for Our Lives because they were talking about how it was a young black girl. She was talking about how people sometimes their stories don't get publicized the way they should be, and I knew that my sister's story was on the front page of the post, but her story was not represented properly. It said it's her fault she's dead, and they said that because she should have known the risk of living in public housing, but she was murdered. She was murdered on their grounds. No one protected her. The cops showed up and they actually held up the ambulance from moving fast because they were like, do you know who killed you? Who do you know? When I showed up to the ambulance, they were literally holding the door, asking her questions. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, let her get to the hospital. And it took me to be there and actually march for our lives. Literally, I was out there like, yo, no, what are you doing? That's my sister. Like, what do you know? Do you know who? He said, do you know who killed your sister? I said, what? I said, I know everything. Let her go. So, that gave him the opportunity to be like, all right. Man, they tried to walk me to the car. I ran off so fast down the block to Harlem Hospital. It didn't make no sense, man. And she was a college student. She worked for UPS. She had a job. And it just hurts my heart to know that they tried to represent her in a negative light just because, they thought that it would be easier for us not to sue or not to have a lawsuit, because before my mom passed, December 20th, she started a $10 million lawsuit against NYCHA, and she tried to do it for the hospital because it was such a struggle, because it was a murder case going on, that they didn't want to give us the information necessary to make sure that she was able to have a good case. So she was fighting for the medical records to see how long the ambulance took to get to the hospital. Then she was fighting to get the hospital records to find out what happened in the hospital, because she got a gunshot wound and then she died. And then she was like, it was crazy. And then the post a year after the situation was happening, the mayor made a quote, and that basically was like, should we have a lawsuit now with the New York Post? So it's like always going to be some type of obstacle. And then my mom passed, and now I'm like, what? Now I have all of this stuff in my hands, and I'm like, yo, this is, how do I even manage to keep up with this while just maintaining,
That's
like
crazy.
you know, and instead of surviving, I want to live. I want to feel alive.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I need to get that support. I need that team. You know what I mean? And we got to stand up. We got to be leaders. We got to speak, and we got to, you know, because now that my sister is not here, I can't just allow what her life was going to be not be. Like, she supported me 100%. She want my career to be the most successful career in the world. I have to work hard. I'm working for 2 lives.
Yeah.
I'm living for 3 people. I'm living for a nation, man.
Yeah.
You know, like it's different now. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm just focused, man. Definitely.
Are you pursuing the case still, or have you sort of?
Yeah, you know, my brother, he's in the military. So when my mom passed, we went there because my mom passed the day before she was signing the papers. Like, I think she was like stressing out over everything. I was like, Mom, don't. She's like, yo, she's talking about the Illuminati. She's like, it was crazy. And she literally died the day before she was going to sign the papers to get the information that she'd been fighting to get for 3 years.
Wow.
So it was like, it's like our job to continue. So me and my brother went there, and he had his ID, and he's in the military. So it was a better idea for him to pursue the case. So I'm not sure what's going on as far as him pursuing the case. I want to see if, since I have my ID and I can and I know what's going on, I have all the paperwork in my house, maybe I can take over the case again, and that'd be a good look, you know. Yeah, I was there talking to Tiana on the phone, like, yo, this is crazy, Mom just passed, and I'm walking into I'm trying to talk to her, and Tiana Taylor, I'm on the phone with her trying to talk to her, but at the same time, my brother's like, yo, get off the phone, walk in this meeting and talk to this lawyer. I'm like, bro, this is like, I didn't even speak to her and tell her what's going on. Like, there's so much going on. Yeah. So I really need that good legal team around me to make sure that I'm able to move forward properly, you know? Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Al Sharpton, and shout out to Ashley Sharpton, everybody that does the fashion shows, and our influencers in the neighborhood. Like, literally, like on 145th Street, it's the National Action Network. And, you know, like certain things that I know are places to where I can actually get the information that I need if necessary. Aisha Say Cool, Street Corner Resources, like things that's in the community that I know that I can go to if I did need some type of information.
Okay. You said Tiana, y'all cool too?
Yeah, the homie since day one. That's day one.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Lil Mama Day One, you know. Shout out.
Oh, for real?
Shout out to Cash Love. Yeah, shout out to the older homies, the day ones, like people that knew me for 10 years and plus.
Dope. So what's the final play here?
Yo, I want you to love yourself, you know? I want you to love yourself. I want to make sure that today you have a bright day. You know, the most successful days are to come. And don't give up, don't feel down, you know. RIP my boy Hooligan Racketar 5, you know, because he committed suicide, and I felt like he was in a part of his career where he was like on the breakthrough of success. And even though things look really, really, really good on the outside, you never know what's going on the inside. You never know what somebody is honestly, truly going through. You know what I mean? And shout out to the people like Press, RIP Press, you know, like trap music. Shout out to the people like him, because he literally was living out his dreams. He went out there to South by Southwest, and he had got shot in the head prior to, and he was still living, still fighting, riding these bikes and doing everything. And he went out there South by Southwest, and he literally died because it was a leakage in his brain from a gunshot wound prior to. So, like, you never know what's going to happen from day to day. So just appreciate the time that you have right now on this earth, because that's it. Like, that's all you have, man, is right now. So love yourself. Love yourself. Do it for you.
That's all. I'm good.
Yo, I feel great, man. Y'all already know what's up, man. I put my little links in the bottom. Make sure y'all follow me, stay in touch with me. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Salute.
AllHipHop.com.